Today I'm answering one of the most frequently asked of frequently asked questions, and that is, how did Tripp and Fancy get from point A to point B? And so today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Tripp and Fancy's ride. So this is how Tripp and Fancy get around. And I'm going to give y'all a little bit more information on how the ramp I use works and where I got it from, so that you can travel with your mini horses in style just like we do. I'm sure that you would expect that whenever we bring mini horses to their visits that we would show up with a truck and a trailer. And that's absolutely not the case, and people are super shocked whenever I unfold the ramp on the back and Tripp and Fancy just hop out the back of my Tahoe. And so why do we do that? Well, there's a few reasons. Number one, the places that we go to visit are sometimes very cramped. The parking lots are super small, and I can barely find a spot to park my Tahoe, much less a truck and a trailer. The parking lots that we go to are definitely above my skill set of trailering, and so the Tahoe makes things super easy. Reason number two is it keeps Tripp and Fancy clean. So before we go on a visit, we always make sure to groom them very well. We want them to be clean and smelling good, and that's super important. So if I were to do all of that grooming and then put them into a horse trailer with open windows, they would just get dirty and stinky again. Reason number three is inclement weather. So if I had to haul them in a horse trailer and it were raining, I would have to cancel my visit, because by the time we got there, they would be damp and muggy and just nasty. So by putting them in my truck, it keeps them dry and clean, and again, just smelling good. Reason number four, I mean, it doesn't get much cuter than that, right? Look at that little face. This is a mini horse in my Tahoe. And every time we pull up and people see them get out, I've had people stop and take videos and take pictures of them getting in and out of the truck. Everybody loves it. So this is my 2022 Chevy Tahoe, also known as Walt. And Walt is how Tripp and Fancy get to all of their visits. As you can see, it's the perfect space for a little mini. Let's talk a little bit about the ramp itself. So as you can see, this looks like your traditional wheelchair ramp. It goes into the trailer hitch receiver on your vehicle, and that's basically what it is. Now, there have been some modifications to this to make it a little bit more mini horse friendly. So when the ramp came in, my wonderful husband helped me out, and he cut the bottom brackets off of the ramp, and he welded some more pieces onto it, and what that did was it made this piece of the ramp up a little bit higher, and that way whenever they're walking in and out, it's just a smooth transition. And then also there's no more of that hard left turn. Something else that I did is when you order this ramp, these little rubber mats are not on it. It's just like a wire grid system, which is not good for little hooves or any hooves at all. So what I did was I went to my local Tractor Supply and I bought a couple of wash rack mats, which is what these are, and I affixed them to the ramp itself so they're stationary. They're not going to come off. They're not going to slip and slide. And that way Tripp and Fancy have something to grip onto whenever they're walking up and down their ramp. And so whenever we're ready to hit the road, I just fold the back piece up. I put the clips on each side, and we're ready to go. Now, a couple of drawbacks to this ramp situation are, number one, it really takes two people to take it on and put it off of the truck, which is not the most convenient thing. Number two, there's no lights on this, so I have to make sure that I'm not anywhere after dark. And number three, it just honestly doesn't look the most professional. But other than that, it actually works out really, really well. Good girl. So a few things on the inside of the truck. People ask me all the time, how do you keep them from going to the bathroom in the truck? The simple answer to that is that I really don't. So Tripp is such a good boy, and he knows when we're about to go on visits. If he sees the ramp, he makes sure that he potties before he gets in the truck. Fancy, on the other hand, for some reason she's gotten it into her head that she will hold it until she gets into the truck, and that's when she'll go. And you know, I'm okay with it. Really, because the goal is for them not to use the bathroom inside. So if she has to go in here, that's perfectly fine with me. Reason number 2 is that I have a very nice floor liner in here. This one is made by WeatherTech. It's made for this truck, so it fits perfectly with the 3rd row seat folded down. And it has the cup sides, so if there is an accident with number 1, which, knock on wood, she always does number 2, not number 1. But if she did, all of the liquid would be contained, and I don't have to worry about it spilling out onto the carpet of my truck. And so that's something that I would definitely recommend for you to purchase if you're interested in transporting minis in your vehicle, or dogs, or potbelly pigs, or whatever your thing is. That's something that I would definitely invest in. And I have a link to that item in the comments below, so you can check that out as well. Alright, so I also keep a lead in my truck for both Tripp and Fancy, and again, they're fine with being inside. They don't aggravate each other. They just stand here and look out the window. But just as a safety precaution, I don't want them turning around back here or anything like that, so we keep those in the truck. Okay guys, so that is a tour of Tripp and Fancy's whip. I hope you enjoyed it. I am going to have another video that goes into a little bit more detail and shows how we had Tripp and Fancy trained to use the ramp and get in and out of the truck. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.